Hello everybody. Today I want to make a couple of embellishments for my journals, and so I've got a couple of pieces of pink lace from Crafty May shop here. They're just so lovely. It's from, let me just show you what I'll get before I get started. It's this beautiful, and I don't know if I have a full piece of it left. It's a lace trim that came down to a peak, but as you can see I've cut pieces off it. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece of lace, and I just wanted to make a couple of embellishments for my journals with it. It already has some sequins and pearl beads on it with these beautiful fabric flowers, but I wanted to embellish it just a little bit more. And so what I thought I would do was turn the camera on and use some of my BB Craft products and play around. So I have these lovely little glass beads from BB Craft that were in my design pack for this month. I also have these lovely silver slick. They've got a silver slick through them. They're clear beads from BB Craft. I have these beads here from BB Craft, and as you can see, the line across the top there ties in beautifully with these smaller beads here, so I'll probably use some of these ones as well. I may add one or two green leaves to it, we will see, or some of the lovely glass pieces that I've received from BB Craft also. But like I said, I'm playing around, so anything can kind of happen in that time. I also have some little seed beads of my own, and these are really tiny ones. I've got to be careful, there's a little hole in the side there. These were sent to me by Rita quite some time ago now, so I think I'll probably use some of those. Most definitely use some of those, because surprisingly seed beads, I don't have many. Like I do have some smaller packs that Rita sent me, but they're just not in quite the right color for what I'm looking for. And I also have these that she sent me also. These are like bugle beads. And at first glance, and I know BB Craft sell things like this also, at first glance they look rather dull, but when you open them and take a couple out, see how dull they kind of look? If you just start giving them a little rub, look at the difference. See how shiny that is all of a sudden? You see the difference there between these two that I shined up and the dull ones? It's only because they've been sat in that plastic bag that they're looking dull. And if you go thrifting and find beads and you think they look rather dull, all they need is to be buffed up a little bit as you're using them, and they will be perfectly fine. It's just that they've been stored in the plastic for so long. So I may use some of those. We will see. So first thing I've got to do is get started. So I'll get some of these. I might as well get them out of that little hole there, seeing as there is one. I'll get some seed beads out to start with. And because that's pink. Now, I don't mind using the gold as well with the pink. So we might intersperse, perhaps, because what I would also like to do, I've just grabbed a piece, this was over there, is maybe layer it on something as well to add a bit more, maybe not that piece. I might find another piece just to give it a darker look as well. And I may even, add a couple more of the little flowers that I have, and I could like put a gold bead in there as well. I may even be able to stitch on a couple of the gold beads in the center as well. Just to, you know, so it's not so quite so pale. There we go, something maybe like that. To incorporate that darker look, because my journals are rather colourful. My journals are rather colourful, so although I love the pink and I've got the pale pink here, I do want to add a bit more colour to it as well. So we'll see how that goes. And perhaps I'll put a different colour lace underneath it as well, and that will help it all tie in. So there's a thought. So maybe if I start on this one, I can leave that one up there as a bit of a prompt for me. I could put another one of those too, couldn't I? Where's another flower? Okay, there's another one. And do I want a little one perhaps in there? I could do a pink one in there, like that, or I could do the pink one like that. They don't all have to be gold, do they? Although that's what I was trying to get in there. I was trying to incorporate more gold, so perhaps I do want the gold in there, like that. Yep. Okay, and we can have some tassels coming down. Different types. Yeah. Okay, so if I use that as my guideline, I can work on this, and once I finish this one, I can use that as the inspiration to make that one. All right, so to start with, what are we going to do? It doesn't need to be too delicate, for the simple fact that there's so much colour on the cover. If it's too delicate, it may get lost. So I also have these beads, and these are from Baby Craft. They were in this jar, but I needed to put these in this jar. They're probably like a 2mm pearl bead, and they're glass beads also. Maybe, I'm just having a look, maybe I could use some of these if I've got enough. That might be a good idea. We can only try, so let's have a look. I mean, worst case scenario, I just have to unpick it. It's not the end of the world. Okay, so I have my beading needle, I have my thread, and I've got a knot in the end of my thread. So I think I will start under here and bring it up. But what I'm going to do, because it's on lace, I'm just going to make a stitch there as well. If I can. Trying to keep it under the camera for you. And I think we will put a knot there. Well, that's not going anywhere and it's disguised, so that's okay. All right, so let's have a little think. So let's try 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I kind of want that the book the spine will be kind of like that. So I'm aiming for it to come down like that. So that's 5. Let's have a look what we can do. Let's take one of these gold ones. We're adding gold ones up here, remember, so although it might look a little bit odd there, it should be all right. 2, 3. Oops. 4 and 5. Like that. And I will use a pink one. Like that. And then I'll get a gold, one of the larger ones, which I need to move away from the edge of my desk. And put that down like that. And then one of these little tiny seed beads on the end, like that. Okay. And then we're going to all right, there is the seed bead there, down here. So I'll put my finger there. We're going to go around the seed bead with our thread now and back through that large bead. Just going to have to move it so I can see what I'm doing. So there you go. See that? How I've gone around. I've gone through the little seed bead and then come around it and back through the gold one. And now I'm going to take my needle back up through all the other beads. If I can see. Okay, we've got this. We can do it. Make that look awkward, didn't I? My goodness. All right. And then pull that through carefully without getting it all tangled. And if you just hold on to that end little seed bead, you should be able to pull that through really nice. But you don't want to be pulling it through too tight, because then it loses the ability to move freely. Like, let me show you. If I pull that really tight like that, oh, I can't do it. Oh, I haven't gone through the top one. Go back through them all. Okay, let's get that. Okay. Let me take a stitch through to the back and I may be able to show you. Okay, see how that dangles quite nicely, like it moves freely? If I pull it too tight, it's going, see how that's just, there's no free movement in that, so you don't want to pull it too tight. Do a little couple of stitches or a knot at the back there. There we go, and that's our first little dangle, like that. Okay, now what? We can do anything. It doesn't have to be a set particular look. So let's see what we can do. Maybe we could use some bugle beads this time. I could use a bugle bead and a pearl and a bugle bead. Oop, lost that one. And a pearl. Don't know what that will look like. Let's have a look. Yes, it can look quite eclectic because the journal's quite eclectic, really, in its own way. It's a, you know, there's a nice mixture in it. Like that, maybe another one. Like that. Okay, now I can have just trying to work out what I want. I might put another bugle bead on there. Your tassels don't have to be all look the same at all. So that there, should we put that on there? Or do we need two beads there? We can put a little pearl and then the big pearl, like that. Like that. And then I'll use a seed bead at the end. And if I had seed beads this colour, I would use probably one of those at the end, but I don't. So I'll stick with the clear ones at the end. And then once again, can you see, I'm skipping that seed bead on the way back and I'm going back through all my beads and doing that. So I think I will go ahead and make a few more little tassels because it's just the same sort of thing. I'll just use different beads each time I make one, and then I can show you at the once I've done them. This one's quite long, so I've only come through halfway and then I'll continue as I go up. Once again, just holding that little end one and carefully pulling it up towards the applique. There we go. I'll show you this one and then I'll turn the camera off and continue on. Do a couple of knots at the back, not too tight, don't pull it tight. Okay, so that's that so far. So I will go ahead and do a few more and then I'll be back. Alright, I'm back. I've done the 4 tassels coming down. I may add another one. I just want to see how everything else looks at the end of it first. My sewing machine just arrived, so that was quite exciting. I took it out of the box, made sure it was all there, but I haven't set it up yet because I've got to take the other one away. Okay, so I've just knotted that off at the back, and I want to add this other flower, so just keeping the same thread, I'm going to kind of got a bit of glue behind the lace in places to stop pearls and things dropping off, so it's, you've got to find a spot to get the needle through. There we go. Got one. Okay, that's fine. And I want to bring it out over here a little bit. So I'm trying to avoid those glue bits. Okay, we'll just take it through there. Trying not to get all tangled. Okay, and I can, there we go. And I'll put a knot there. Okay. So I need a little flower. And I don't know whether you remember, I found at the op shop for 30 cents, I think it says, or $3, or I don't know. This, whoops, this whole bunch of flowers, and I just pick them off like that. I just want a couple of those. Whoops, picked a whole bunch there. And they are so good to use because they're fabric flowers, and I don't always find those sorts of things, so it's lovely to be able to find one. Okay, I'm going to take one of my flowers, I'm going to put a stitch like that. In fact, because it's only being held on by lace, I think I might put a couple of stitches on it before I put the pearl on. Might be a good idea. Okay, now we want a gold pearl. And that's going to need a couple more stitches just to secure it. I mean, you could glue these on as well, but I like to sew things every so often. And I think more people are into a bit of stitching these days as well. Okay, I'll put that there. And then I'll just put a stitch and a knot at the back of that. And I want to be over here now. I just need to move my thread up a bit more. Okay, so I will just find some spots where I can get my needle through on the back. Yep, that'll be fine. Take a couple of stitches. Okay, now how are we doing this? We're going to come up between, is that right? I want to get it fairly close to the middle pearl because it's a larger pearl. One of those. So we want, is it 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these. And just stitch those onto the flower and bring it, the needle back up over here. Can't see it there. And get another gold one and stitch it around. So like that, and I'll go around the flower and then I'll come over and do the other flower over here in the same way that I did this one over here as well. And then I will be back. Okay, so that is done. Sorry, I heard the cat. I wonder what she was doing. I think she's playing in the box. I did add another tassel here, as you can see, just to give it that odd number that we all like. I've taken some of the lovely little acrylic beads out, and I thought I would tuck a couple in, maybe one there, and maybe one over there, just to add a bit of colour, maybe two over here like that, just to help it blend in perhaps with the cover a bit more. What do you think? I think that's quite pretty. Yes, so I think I'll go ahead and let's see, do I want, you see, I could just glue those on if I wanted to, but because I'm going to the trouble of sewing all this on anyway, I think I will just go ahead and stitch them on. If I find they're a little bit too movable, I can always put a little bit of glue behind them at a later stage. Just a couple of stitches there. So we want one here. I might have to put a bit of glue because otherwise they're just going to dangle straight down, aren't they? Are they? Maybe not. It's so pretty. Lots of things in the way. Oh, I hope I'm under the camera there. So I'll put about 3 stitches in that, I think. If I can find it. It's hard to see. I need to tilt it towards myself so I can actually see what I'm doing. There, got it. Yay. So that has 3 stitches in it. Let's have a look. So that's sitting and just peeking out like that. And I want the other one there. I want perhaps peeking out just a little bit more. Okay, so about there. Okay, let's see. Oops, better take it through to the front, I think. Okay, so I'm putting this one a little bit lower down. I could have used a double thread for this. That would have probably been a better idea, but I'm just using the thread that I've got on there. But if I need to add a little bit of glue later, I think I will do that. So kind of like that. Can you see how it's like that? Yeah. I do like those beads. They're very pretty. Sorry. Rather than coming up inside of the bead, I'm going to come up through there and then take it back through the bead. That would be smart. Try and angle it that way a bit. Like that. Okay. Okay, so let's have a look. That's 2 on that side, and I think we'll put one over that side there, and I think that will look very pretty. It's going to go kind of like that. That's the way the beads will hang. Yeah, I like that. So I need to pop that one on. Have I got enough thread? No. So I'll go ahead and put that one on, and then I'll be back. Okay, that's done. I love the way that looks. That's our lovely little lace beaded embellishment. Isn't it pretty? I do like the addition of the little leaves. And I have to go and, because this one hasn't been put together, remember, that was what I was looking at to make this, and now I will put this one up there and make that one fairly much you know, pretty much the same as this one here. I think that will look very, very pretty. I'm hoping it looks very pretty. Yeah, it should look pretty. I won't show you it on the side of the journal yet until the journal's finished, because I may add, like I said, a coloured lace behind it. But that's a lovely little embellishment to have in your stash. And I was just thinking as well, because one thing usually leads to another, doesn't it? These little flowers that I've got here, okay, these little flowers here, I could make them into little embellishments that I can just glue on in places. Just putting a knot at the back of my cotton there. Let's see how quick the idea is quick. So just a couple of stitches. I'm doing a couple of stitches because there's a little hole in the center of the flower there. Okay, so got that. Let's just get a little gold bead out perhaps to put in the center there. Whoops. Like that. Okay, you've got your little bead in the center there. It helps to cover up that really bright pink as well. And maybe I might just take another stitch. Okay, like that. And then maybe I could just put like 1, 2, 3, 4. Oops, missed that one. 5. We'll have to say. I don't know how many. Have to see. Oh no, got to have more than 5. Okay, so maybe 10. 1. Oh, it'd be easier to put them here. Okay. And a couple more. Oh, come on. Okay, so that's 13, maybe a couple more. 14, 15, 16. All right, that's a funny one. I don't want that one. Okay, it's about 17, I think, isn't it? Like that. Oh, here we go. There's a little one. One of those tiny BB Craft pearls. And like that. And then take it back up inside. These are the sorts of things that are good to do if you're listening to something, a video or, you know, a movie or something like that. Because they do take time. Oh, no. Oh, no. Occasionally you come across, and these are that packet of seed beads. Oh, occasionally you come across a bead that just doesn't want to it does not want to go through. So what do you do? If you're counting beads, you know, like you have to have a specific number, then you have to just take them back through. I'm not doing counting beads, but I'm going to take it back through anyway. Otherwise, yeah, I'll just take them back through. So, easiest just to, oops, I'm going to bend my needle. Easiest to unthread the needle, like that. And pull the thread back through, like that. Take off the bead that didn't want to be cooperative. Make sure that was, I might take another one off as well, just to make sure I got the right one. And then rethread the needle and continue on. So I'll go do that and I'll come back once I'm finished. Okay, so I went ahead and finished that. I did about 17 little seed beads, a small pearl bead from Babycraft and the small pink bead, and went back through it. And I'm going to add a couple more and then I'll be back. Okay, and that's done. I did a few little seed beads, 4 little seed beads, and then stitched the leaf on that one, and then did a shorter little tassel on that one there as well. And I think that would be a lovely little embellishment to have, just a glue onto a project at a later date. I think it's ever so pretty, and not too fiddly to make, but just something a little bit different for inside of your journals or on your projects that you like to make. So I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial, and I hope you give something like that a try. Gosh, it looks so pretty. There we go. And thank you, Babycraft, for the lovely beads to work with. And as usual, I will put a link to Babycraft in the description box below. And I will see you in my next video. Bye.